turn the mic over to Director Joan Adcock.
Thank you. Sam, our president, happened to have fallen off of a ladder and broke his leg. So any of y'all that know Sam, if you would just send him a card or something, tell him how sorry he was. And then James couldn't be here, so Scott and I are here representing the Little Rock Animal Services Advisory Board for the City of Little Rock. This is a big, big day. 10 years. 10 years is quite a while. I was looking at some children out there a while ago and was asking them, how old are you? And I found one child that was 10, and I thought that child was born the same year that we did this. And I was wondering, have we learned as much as that child has? And I think we have, and I think that we have made a tremendous difference in this city in the 10 years that we have been here. And you're going to hear from Mr. Moore about in the beginning. And I just am so glad that you're here. I'm glad that other people are coming. The hallways back here are packed. That means people are adopting, people are taking home. We was full, I think, yesterday. Right, Skip? So this will give us a little breathing room. And Monday and Tuesday, the officers will be out, and probably by the end of the week, we'll be full again. Last week, we sent about 40 cats to Dallas, Texas. We sent dogs to Michigan. So we are willing to share. Little Rock is a very sharing city, and we share our animals. So thank you again for coming, and we've got a great program for you. And the refreshments are here, and the birthday cake, that we will follow the program with that. So if you need a program, I've got one. And when you finish, be sure and get one of these for your window. And I am supposed to introduce Mayor Stoller. Mayor, you want to come up, please? I think all of you know Mayor Stoller. He's already gone shopping for his dogs.
I have. Thank you.
I have told him that our collars and our leashes are made out of the rubbery thing like the old raincoats used to be, and those can be seen in the dog, so he got one so he can take his dog walking in the mornings.
Well, thank you, Joan, and good morning to all of you. Thank you for being here on this great 10-year anniversary celebration of our Animal Village. This is a real milestone in many respects as it relates to the attitude that our citizens have in terms of caring for our four-legged friends. As I mentioned a minute ago, other than our children, probably our most valued love in life are our pets. And we give them attention and love and spend time with them and spend a lot of money on them usually. And it tells us a little bit about the qualities that we have as a society, and we've really come a long way as it relates to that. Some of you may remember that we used to have a dog pound. Remember what they were called back then? And it was out at the Interstate Park off of Arch Street Pike, and it was not a very pleasant place, unfortunately. And so really with the leadership of Director Joan Adcock, we kind of came into the 21st century a little bit about what to do with our friends and how to treat them. And so the result of that is the city board committed funding to build this wonderful facility, a facility that not only has a dog park, but an area for exercising, an area for people to view their dogs and cats for potential adoptions, making it very, very easy for someone to find a four-legged friend to love. And so I'm so happy that we were able to come and really do something that I think is very, very special. As a matter of fact, we competed a few years ago at the U.S. Conference of Mayors for what they call their City Livability Awards. And we won the large City Livability Award for our animal village. And of course, it is a village. It's not just a place where we confine animals. It's a place where we love animals. As Joan said, we adopt animals out to other states. I think we did over 2,000, didn't we? Who's got the latest number on that last year? Either one.
Last year we transferred 648 animals out.
Okay, so I think collectively it's been over 2,000 that we've done throughout other states, giving them the opportunity to adopt animals. And I want to say a special thank you for the people I see out here who are our volunteers. This organization and this plan, this whole effort would not be possible without our volunteers, our Animal Services Advisory Board, the volunteer time that they give, our veterinarians and the time that they give. It is all really a collective effort, and it's something that makes Little Rock very, very special. So thank you all for being here. It's a great 10-year anniversary, and I can't wait for us to cut the cake. Thank you. Let me introduce our city manager, Bruce Moore, who's going to tell us how it all began and how much money we spent.
Well, good morning. Thank you all for being here. And I've been traveling this week, but had to make sure I got back to Little Rock before for this program. But as we were talking earlier, when you have pets and you travel, you have to make arrangements for them. And so while I was gone, I have a 3-year-old lab named Charlie. And so I let her go over to a friend of mine's house who has dogs. So Thursday night, we're at a reception over in North Carolina, and I get this picture of Charlie sitting at the dinner table, and I'm like, "You're spoiling my dog." But as many have said, it's so good to be here for the 10th anniversary. In November 2003 is when Little Rock voters overwhelmingly approved a new bond program. And that program money was set aside for a new animal service facility. And as the mayor mentioned and others, we were out there on Arch Street, and we really said, all right, and Joan, the mayor's right, she really said, all right, we need to think bigger. And Director Adcock, Kay Risser, who's out there, Pam Adcock, Myra Jones, BJ, and many others celebrated this victory with the bond issue. But little did we know that the long road was still ahead. Because people, and you hear, I think we're the only ones that we're no longer referred to as a dog pound, but that's how people perceived animal shelters. So it really was an extremely difficult process to find a location for this new building. I really don't know how many properties Director Adcock and I looked at over a several-month period. But finally, we decided to put it here on Kramer Street, on land the city already owned. In hindsight, it made perfect sense. This was near to the first tee on land owned by the city also, and putting the animal village here helped anchor redevelopment in this area. On February 9, 2006, dogs who were available for adoption dug into the ground to help start the construction here. That day also, the state of Arkansas presented a check to the city for an additional $75,000. So thank you, Pam Adcock, who was the state representative at that time, for that contribution. So on August the 4th, 2007, this new 7,600 square foot animal village opened. The new facility was important, but there were other things that helped this transformation. In September 2004, I asked Tracy to become the acting manager out here, and he said he would, only he was going to go back to code enforcement after he was out here for a little bit. And then he called me in April of 2005 and said, Bruce, in code enforcement, we can make a difference, but it takes a long time getting through the court process. Okay, I'm going to finish. But Tracy said every day I can make a difference in the lives of animals in Little Rock, and so we're so thankful for Tracy. Great job. Tracy's vision, his compassion, and desire for teamwork invigorated the staff and the volunteers out here. He has fostered partnerships with other animal organizations, and through his leadership, the Animal Village has received national recognition. More importantly, he and his team have improved the lives of thousands of animals and people. The continued vision and leadership of City Director Joan Adcock has also been key. She has recruited volunteers, has solicited donations, and she knocked on doors, fostered cats, made phone calls, passed out flyers, petted dogs and cats, been up here at 3 o'clock in the morning to load dogs in vans. You name it, she has done it. So it's my pleasure to announce how many actual animals we've adopted since we've been out here. 22,605. This, there's a lot of things that we can be proud of, but in Little Rock, but this is one of the things that's at the top of my list. So, congratulations, Tracy, and your staff, and congratulations on a great 10-year anniversary. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. We're going to move on right now to the recognition of media and business partners. I turn it over to Leslie Taylor.
I'm a member of the Friends of the Animal Village Board, and it's just such a pleasure to get to volunteer out here and work with my fellow board members who are here and work with Tracy and Skip. But we have to get the word out, and we can't do that if we didn't have our media partners. And they're all so very important to us, and we really do appreciate you very much. So this morning, I get to recognize some of those very important media partners. Channel 11, THV 11, and I've got Theba here, and Caitlin is over there with her iPhone. But Channel 11, every Friday morning, they allow us to come on and bring a dog or a cat and find that animal a home. And then they let us talk about our events. And this all started many, many years ago, thanks to the vision and the love of people like Theba. Because of Joy the Garden Cat, they've let us partner with Joy the Garden Cat. They've let us raise money for a special cat room, and they really have been there with us every single step of the way. So over 3 years, we're 100% adoptions with the animals that have gone on. So, do the math, that's 900 animals over 3 years. I guess 3 years, it may have been longer than that, but anyway, we really do appreciate you and THV 11 so very much, Theba, and we couldn't do this without you. So please come forward and get a certificate. You don't have to, but if you'd like.
Well, I'm going to now. Well, no, I'm really kind of mad because I didn't know I was going to come up here. I just put on a ball cap and arrived, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was going to have to say something. But, she said something earlier about recognition and about how easy it is. And we had Larry the Garden Cat, which made that really easy, and Joey the Garden Cat, which made it really easy. I'm still really mad at Joey for dying on me. He died of a disease, FIP, and then and we thought he was going to last longer because he survived bone cancer. But you having a cat and having a station that was willing to let us have a cat made it really easy to recognize and partner with organizations like the Animal Village. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So now I would like to recognize 103.7, The Buzz, and Shelley Seitz. The Buzz, we all know about The Buzz and what a great radio station it is. But they also do broadcasts for us on social media. They've been out there with us walking in the parade at Christmas time. They do anything that we ask them to. Skip talks about Shelley and The Buzz all the time. And you probably should have been the one presenting this to them, but we really, really could not thank you enough for all that you do. And so I'd ask for you to come up and get a certificate as well.
Well, now I'm a mess because you announced how many animals got adopted, and I found out we almost lost Tracy all those many years ago, so I'm all choked up. But I'm grateful to work for a station that lets me do this, and if not for Legacy Wine and Spirits, we wouldn't be able to do the Pet of the Week because they are the sponsor, and those guys out on Chenal they have a real heart for animals, and I'm grateful they let us do that, and then I get to stick around a little while afterwards and walk some dogs, and thanks y'all, thank you so much.
And we do have, I don't know if anyone's here from Legacy,
They're
but
not.
we do also have a certificate for Legacy Wine and Spirits.
I'll make
If
sure
you
they
give
get
that
that.
to them. Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
y'all.
Shelley. So now, is Sean here from the ride? Sean Reed? Well, the ride, we have Wet Nose Wednesdays. They come out, Sean Reed comes out and does spots and broadcasts and does his thing on social media, and it's really a pleasure to watch those. So we do have a certificate that Skip will let you give that to Sean as well. Okay? Okay. So now we also have some very important corporate and business partners. And just like our media partners, we could not do this without them. 3 years ago, we started microchipping animals at Bass Pro Shops, on the parking lot at Bass Pro Shops. We've been inside their store. You know, from the very beginning, Henry and Doug and all the managers said, come on out, do whatever you need. So 2 or 3 times a year, we microchip animals. Skip has done seminars out there on how to take care of your dog. Dr. Barron from Shackelford Road has done seminars out there. They just really turn everything over to us. Dee Graves is out there setting up tents with her staff. I mean, it's the best place in the world to do an event, because not only do they give us the location, but they also give us all the supplies and things that we need. So I'd like to ask Doug Cheek and Dee Graves to please come up and be recognized.
Well, guys, I'm extremely honored to be here today, and this means a lot to us. I'm thankful to work for a company that is pet friendly. We love our animals. We get it all the time. Customers coming in that maybe don't shop at Bass Pro Shops on a regular basis will come in and they're in awe that we, yes, please bring your animal in, bring your pets in, and it's an honor to work for a great company that enjoys our animals being in the store. We're just honored to be here today. Very, very thankful for this, and thankful for the partnerships that we have. So thank you guys very much.
Okay, so out there microchipping those dogs on the parking lot, and as I mentioned, he also gives seminars when he's asked to. But out there microchipping those dogs is Dr. Brian Barron and his staff from the Shackelford Road Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Barron has donated his time for the last 3 years. He never wants anything except just to get the job done. The man is a machine. He has microchipped more than 1,500 animals in 3 years at Bass Pro Shops, and that is just outstanding. And those animals hopefully will not end up in a shelter or lost from their parents. So anyway, Dr. Barron, we just cannot thank you enough. We have another microchipping December 2nd. Bass Pro and Dr. Barron have both agreed to help us. So December 2nd, 11 to 2, out at the Bass Pro Shops parking lot. So come out there and see us. So Dr. Barron, please come up.
Well, thank y'all for having me out. I appreciate y'all allowing me to do the microchipping. Leslie, I'm glad you asked us, because I do enjoy it. I get to see a lot of pretty little dogs coming out there, and sometimes you get the big scary ones too, but they all appreciate it, and it's a great cause. I really appreciate y'all letting us do it. But I will have to say, one of my other veterinarians did some of those microchips, so I didn't do them all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and another corporate partner, and I don't know if anybody's here or not from PetSmart, but PetSmart allows us to go out. We've gone out with the mobile adoption unit in the past. They have cats at their locations. Debbie Heller works with them, and I think she told me, Debbie, I don't know if you're in the room, we've had more than 300 cats adopted through those PetSmart adoptions out there. So next time you're at PetSmart, please go in there and tell them thank you, and go by and look at the cats. And if no one's here, I'll give this to Skip to give, or Debbie to give to them as well. Okay, that's my part of the program. Thank you.
Okay, for those that don't know, actually, have we broken ground yet?
No.
On the cat room? Little Rock Animal Village actually will be expanding a cat room right out front, and to talk a little about that, Diva?
The video, so can you hold up the video?
It's on there.
All right, so the best phone call I've received so far this year was when I think it was Leslie called and told me that they were ready to start breaking ground. They've raised the money for Joey's playroom. And we decided to name it after Joey because of all the work, of course. Having Joey helped us as a TV station really promote events and campaigns, anything animal related and positive and productive and advocacy. And so, and Joey made it really easy because he was so darn cute. And of course, he had over 500,000 Facebook fans from all over the world, from Malaysia to, I would get all sorts of, and I just had the privilege of being Joey on his Facebook page and meeting and connecting. So the first cat we had was Larry. And so when Animal Village came into existence, we had Larry, but we didn't have social media when Larry was alive. When Joey decided he wanted to be the star, there was social media, so it made it really easy to connect with animal lovers. And so I knew from the beginning that there was a plan. We just didn't know when for a playroom. And I think at the beginning we were going to name it after Larry. That's how far back the plan was. And then so again, I actually cried at the TV station when I heard that it was going to happen, because once we lost Joey, we felt like we lost a little campaign steam on his page and elsewhere because he had passed. And at the very beginning, we were able to really say, come on for Joey and all the cats who need a playroom, for people to come and enjoy and get to know and fellowship with a cat to know if it's a good connection. We knew from the beginning that this was so important. So, of course, it's an honor and a privilege for us as a TV station to have helped as much as we could, but also for the Animal Village to name it after Joey. And so I'm just so excited. I want to have like cameras in there. I've got all sorts of ideas. And so I know that they said they're going to try to break ground in mid-December. And that can't, this is going to be such a great addition to already an organization that is so inviting for people who want to come and interact with animals. So it's going to be nice to see those kittens out of those cages playing and interacting with people. So thank you to everyone who contributed and followed, and I just can't wait. I can't wait to get out here and be a part of it. Was that all I was supposed to talk about, was that? In my ball cap?
Larry has his own room named after him, and just think how many kittens and cats has been in his room since they started.
Yeah, and we thought that was a big deal. THV 11, we sponsored the cage that Larry's picture is over, and thought that was a big deal, and this is really a big deal. So yeah, these are cats that showed up very organically and became part of our family and part of the viewers and the users, and so it's been a real privilege. So I know everyone wants us to just grab a cat, but that's not how it works, and I don't know if we'll ever have another cat. Don't think I'm not looking around the station often to see if there's a kitten roaming around, because I'll find a way.
I thought you were going to arrange that.
Yeah.
For that kitten to be roaming around.
So I'm surprised we haven't. A miracle! I'm surprised that somebody has not dumped over the fence like a litter of kittens for us to pick through. So anyway, I know. I think I've heard plans before. Anyway, thank you, Animal Village, and thank you for putting up with me. I know it can be really dramatic when it comes to lost animals when I call you guys. And the video's there, and of course we're going to make a big deal about it when they break ground. Big deal. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Theba. Please welcome Betsy Robb, Friends of the Animal Village.
Good morning. It's a big day at the Animal Village. I'm Betsy Robb, and I'm the president of Friends of the Animal Village. We are not the shelter. We get contacted every single day thinking we are, but we're not. We're a separate organization. We're a 501c3 run by volunteers, and what we do is fundraising and promotions. We do the Bass Pro events, and we raise the money for Joey's Playroom and things like that. So those of you who know me know that I'm an accountant by day. So I'm a numbers girl, and I could rattle off a whole huge list of numbers for you, but instead I've just got 3 I'm going to give you. 93, 109, and 12,811. And of course Bruce told us the big number, 22,000. 93 is the number of feral cats that have been placed as barn cats or working cats since we started that program 15 months ago. Feral cats are not able to be pets. They will never be house pets. They're just not. They're wild. Before the barn cat program started, they were euthanized because we couldn't adopt them out. We had nowhere for them to go. The barn cat program changed that, and 93 cats is the number of cats that have been placed at barns, warehouses, workshops, offices since the beginning of that program. And most of that is due to Debbie Hiller, who is our beloved cat lady here at the Animal Village. She does an incredible job. She doesn't work here either, but most people assume that she does, and they're almost right. And the next number is 109. That is the number of dogs who are currently receiving heartworm treatment because of the Heartworm Fund that we began 2 years ago. That program has saved 269 dogs total since it began. Before that, when someone wanted to adopt a heartworm positive dog, they had to pay for treatment. If you know anything about heartworm treatment, you know it can cost up to thousands of dollars. It's going to at least run you $400 or $500, right, Dr. Barron? Yeah. So obviously, that was preventing a lot of adoptions from happening because you can either adopt a $90 dog or a $90 dog that's going to come with hundreds of dollars in vet bills right off the bat. You're saving a life either way, so you can't blame somebody for making that decision. Our Heartworm Fund changed all of that. Heartworms are no longer preventing dogs from getting adopted because they can be treated thanks to the donations we receive. So 109 dogs are currently in treatment. Treatment lasts about 3 months. So the fact that we have 109 from the past 3 months is pretty incredible, and that number is only going to go up. 12,811 is the number of cats, dogs, guinea pigs, chickens, all kinds of things who have been adopted, reunited with their owners, or transferred to rescue just in the last 5 years. Just in the last 5 years, not even the last 10 years. 22,000 is adoptions in the last 10 years. But that's a pretty incredible number when you really think about it, and that number goes up every year somehow. We always think, okay, we've peaked, we've reached our limit, we can't do any better, and then we do every year. And it's because of support from people like you. You know, we need donations of money, but also time and advocacy. You don't have to donate and you don't have to adopt to make a difference out here. You can spend your time out here volunteering. If you spend one day here, you are going to save at least one life, because you have improved their social skills and gotten to know them and learned things about them that we can tell potential adopters. It's that easy to make a difference out here. And we also need you to be an advocate for Little Rock Animal Village. Tell people about the Little Rock Animal Village, what it is, where it is. If they've lost their pet, that they should come here to look for them. If they're looking to add a new family member, come out here and adopt one. $90 adoption fee is nothing when you consider that they're spayed and neutered, up to date on vaccinations, and then on days like today, they're free. So it's really easy to be an advocate, and that is, you know, the number one thing that we really need is we need help spreading awareness. And one of the things that we have decided to do to kind of mark the significant number of adoptions that are happening every day out here is we have purchased a bell to hang in the lobby that will be rung for every adoption and every transport to rescue. And I told Tracy this morning, I hope he has to replace it by the end of the year because they wear it out. Because this thing is gonna ring several thousand times a year, and that's pretty incredible. So thank you, Tracy, for all that you do, and thank you guys for supporting us, and we appreciate your continued support.
Thank you, Betsy. I'd like to introduce Tracy Work. I met Tracy, about 2 years ago. We were sparring over chickens, of all things. And I was really blown away by the work he's done here. And it really moved me to get involved. And so it is my pleasure to introduce Tracy Work.
Thank you.
We're gonna ring the heck out of this bell right here. I had a meeting with staff this morning. We talked about excitement because it's easy for us because we do this all the time, every day, and it's easy to to realize that people that come in, this is a change in their life to adopt an animal. So every day we have to make ourselves anew as to what we're here for. And I talked to them about this bell, and that's going to be, I told them I want to hear it in my office when we ring it. And so, Betsy, I'm excited, and I thank you and Friends Up for everything y'all done. Saving all these animals from heartworms is a big deal. I'd like to recognize a couple people, but first, John, could you come up here for just a second? Me and John met.
I didn't know I was going to have to come up.
Me and John met, kind of just one of them things that happened. He called me one day because he had some feral cats behind his law office, and his son was talking about actually did a what was it?
Science fair project on TNR.
On Trap Neuter Return. And we got to talking, and we got to be, two big guys, country boys, ended up liking cats. And we got to talking about cats and talking about everything that we do here for cats and all the excitement that we have for our cat programs. So that was about 3 years ago. We've talked occasionally and talk about what we're doing here, and he's always been a big supporter of me personally and this shelter, and gave us a very large donation that helped us finish raising money for our cat room. In fact, it's bigger now because of what he gave. So I would just like to recognize you, John, for everything you do and for your encouragement to me. And this is for you. I've also got you a wonderful shirt, Little Rock Animal Village shirt that you can wear with pride, and just let everybody know how many animals we're saving here and how many cats we own.
Thank you.
So, next person I'd like to recognize, Leslie, could you come here for a minute?
I think like a dog. Don't get too close.
What are you doing?
Most people don't realize, we send hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of animals out to ASPCA, and before that was a rescue wagon. And most people don't realize what it takes to get one dog ready, much less when you got 25 going, because you have to assess them. You have to make sure all the vetting's done. You got to make sure they're healthy. Well, Leslie assesses dogs, and one of the things that we're careful about when someone assesses these dogs is they have to be objective. They have to. And she may love these animals, but see something that fails. She's got to be objective in that, and she does it and lets us know this is what it's doing. But it takes a lot of courage to do that. But it also takes a commitment. She is here almost every Saturday testing dogs. 3 o'clock in the morning, she will be here loading these dogs. She brings her daughter, who's about to go to Iowa State. It's Iowa State?
Iowa State.
And she's, so she'll be coming up here by herself.
No, she's going to come help you next semester.
Oh,
remember?
good. But anyway, the Volunteer of the Year,
Oh, my goodness.
Leslie Gibbons.
Wow.
And we just thank you. I just want to read this. It's for her selfless support of the mission of Little Rock Animal Village and finding homes for all those in need. Your dedication amid so many are now in loving homes.
Thank you, Tracy.
And also, get
Ooh,
a
purple
wonderful shirt.
Oh, I love it. I'm gonna go change right now. Thank you so
y'all.
much.
Thank
This is an awesome place. Y'all all know that though.
Last thing I want to recognize, Shelley, can you just stand up? Shelley Smith, I almost said Shelley. Shelley Smith is Dogs Only, and she does a lot of her stuff. She's not recognized about it. She pulls so many dogs from us, like 150 this year. And it's the dogs with mange. It's dogs with problems walking. It's dogs that most people don't want. She pulls those dogs and finds them homes. She used to sit outside of Petco every week and just to find dogs homes. She sends them up north now, and she'll come down here and goes through, and I tell her, just find what you need. Just go back and find what you need. But I want to publicly tell Shelley, thank you for what you do. Also, very special thing. Lynn Pumphrey, Al North. There she is. Y'all, can y'all come here for just a second? Just tell y'all. They are, most every day you'll come out here, you'll see one of these two people, and a lot of times on the same day. They've been coming out. How long you been coming out here, Al?
Oh, fortnight. It'll be 2 years November.
Okay. Oh, you've been here
3 years.
3 years.
Awesome.
Loving dogs, taking them out. Lynn's taking kittens home and taking them out. So just to let y'all know how much y'all's appreciated, how much y'all are loved, we're naming one of our dog pens
Holy
after y'all.
God.
So every day when y'all take that out, y'all know how much y'all are loved,
Awesome.
especially by these animals.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it's just an honor.
Awesome.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's not me though. Says Alan Moore. That's not me, it's an honor. There you go.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, now it's time for refreshments.